A nightmare of real things from week 1 to week 18. I'm as we said yesterday, just away with words, just so well there, right? Describing the Panthers season. But I would argue a nightmare of real things week 1 to week 11. Then you fired Frank Reich. Then it became like the nightmare of Christmas futures or something like that. Because then you're looking to the future. You're not really looking at it right now. The Panthers, as soon as the coaching carousel began, put out a list of requested interviews for potential head coaching candidates. And it was, I have it here in front of me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 candidates long. It's extensive.
And it might be longer.
Should be longer.
Yeah.
But they should be this far ahead of every other team. Every other team scraggling this, we like this guy. Oh, how about this one? A couple days later, this guy. They should be so far ahead of every other team in their search because they were not in the mix for any kind of a playoff run. Didn't have to worry about that. We're not dealing with a current head coach. And they never really entertained their interim as a potential, right? Chris Tabor's not really in the mix, unlike a team like Vegas, who also fired their coach early on in the season, but was evaluating Antonio Pierce in real time. They should be far ahead of every other team in their search. They essentially had the second half of the season to get their ducks in a row and be ready to pounce. Make an offer. Tell them they have a day to answer. Don't let them wait for other teams. Why not, right? And obviously, if they're still coaching and those sorts of things, you do have to wait. But I'm saying be ready as soon as they're available. Be ready. Have some belief in your self-worth. How about that for the Panthers? I don't know how many times we've said it on this show. I know it's a lot because it's true, and we try to pass along things that we believe are true. They're dead last in the rankings. The Panthers are the least attractive opening of the head coaching possible openings in the NFL. That's just is what it is. But that doesn't mean you have to act that way, right? Interview them as soon as you can. The names on this list: Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. He's going to have options. He's one of the hot names in coaching. Texans offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick. Guess what? Bobby Slowick developed C.J. Stroud. You know what everyone in the NFL wants to know how to do? Develop young quarterbacks. His name on the rise. And also he was on the 2013 Washington Redskins staff, which was Shanahan, McVay, LaFleur, Raheem Morris. Like they're all there. So, you know, just by proximity, I guess he's going to be a hot coaching candidate.
And I'm sure a lot of people are like, all right, you did it with the number 2 pick. Can you do it with the number 1 pick?
The Panthers are all in on it.
Absolutely.
But also, maybe the Patriots might be interested going, you did it with the number 2 pick last year. Can you do it with the number 3 pick this year?
Titans have a second-year quarterback. They need a coach now, too.
Everybody wants to know how to develop young quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. Bengals offensive coordinator Brian Callahan. We talked about him yesterday. Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Quinn on the list. Ravens defensive coordinator Mike McDonald, not to be confused with Mike McDaniel. Different guy. Not the Miami head coach. If he were available, there would be callers. But Mike McDonald, defensive coordinator with the Ravens. Speaking of Dolphins offensive coordinator Frank Smith. How much did he learn from Mike McDaniels? People want to know. McDaniel. Raheem Morris, who we brought up, Ravens defensive coordinator. Ravens offensive coordinator Todd Monken. Buccaneers offensive coordinator Dave Canales. Those are the teams on the list. Those are the people on the list that the Ravens want to talk to. Talk to everybody.
Yeah.
But also, along the way, like this is a game of elimination, okay? I don't even know if this is a thing. My wife and I, when we're like going out to eat and we're both doing the I don't care, you pick, I don't care, you pick, we'll play what we call the elimination game, which is we put like the 6 options, right? Because everybody has the 6 options. And I eliminate one, you eliminate one, I eliminate one, you until there's only one left. That's
jury selection.
Yeah, exactly. We go through, what is it? What's the jury selection process called? Now I'm blanking on it.
Yeah.
We're opposing counsels. Just looking. I don't like this one. They're not gonna defend my client. But I say handle it like that, right? You had this big jump to gather information on all these different offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators. Like, while everyone else was dealing with their season this year, you could have watched a Lions game and decided if you liked the plays being called and eliminated Ben Johnson or boosted Ben Johnson. And you could have done the same thing for the Bengals, the same thing for the Ravens. You could have done it for every single coordinator. So you bet, like, this list better already have been pared down. I hope you started with a list of 50 and you're to these 9. And now you're just looking for red flags. You're looking for deal breakers. I saw on the internet they call them icks now. I-C-K. It's no longer called a deal breaker. Like when you go on a date with somebody and you learn that they're rude to a waiter, it's like that's no longer called a deal breaker on the internet. That's called an ick.
Oh, I mean red flags?
Red flag. Yeah. That's what it was back in my day. 33 years old. Back in my day, it was a red flag. Now they're icks.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you very much. I was yesterday.
Yeah.
Turned 33. And all the lingo became apparently for younger people as soon as you hit your kind of late or early to mid-30s. Find your icks, figure them out, and get to know the guys. You can Zoom interview. Is it now or starting soon, Dennis? I know you were up on the
I think you can do
calendar.
it now.
You can Zoom interview now. You are Zoom interviewing when you start with 9 names. You are looking for red flags. You're looking for deal breakers. You're looking for reasons to eliminate guys. That's seriously what you're doing. Hey, how do you feel about Bryce Young? Well, I think I like him. Red flag. You got to love this guy.
Ick.
We invested so much. Yeah, ick. Deal breaker, red flag, whatever you want to call it. Hey, how do you feel about our trade with Christian McCaffrey? You hate it? All right, that's good because we do too. We shouldn't have done that one. That's
the
good.
reason why that guy's fired.
You make it to the next. You make it to the next round here. It's the Panthers should be, for lack of a better metaphor, like rounding second base on their search. While the Tennessee Titans fired Mike Vrabel today. Now, I know every team has their hidden drawer with a list of names that they might want to hire a head coach if they're ever in that situation, but they're vetting that list right now. They're so far behind. They're 2 months behind where the Panthers should be. Take advantage of that. The Panthers don't have much advantage right now. They really don't. Most of the things that you're dealing with are called a disadvantage. The thing they have that's their advantage in this hiring process is they should be further ahead on it. So if you don't act quicker, if you don't, don't think, oh, we had all this time, so we get to operate slower than everyone else. No, still push the tempo so you can make offers and say, listen, I don't want you to have to, like, what are we up to? 6 openings now? I want to hire I want to offer my number one choice and say, listen, I'm not going to say this out loud, but this is my thought process. Listen, I understand we're last place here, right? I understand we are not the most attractive, but we're a bird in the hand for you right now, number one choice. We are offering you a competitive salary. We are offering you a competitive length of contract. We're offering you, everything that a head coach should want. You are going to maybe a little premium on the salary, so you deal with Tepper, but we understand that's how it works. We'll call it the Tepper tax. We'll pay you a little bit more on that one. But guess what? You can take this right now, guaranteed, accept it, sign on the dotted line, be our head coach, or you can bet that maybe one of those 5 other jobs will want you later. But just know this. If you wait, we're not going to wait. We're going to go give this same spiel to our second best choice, and we're going to get our guy. That's what I would do. You got 9 names on the list. Figure out who number 1 is. Soon as you can, have that conversation. Just because you're the last choice doesn't mean you have to act like it.